as you look back over this path that you've been on, do you find a gift in it?
Yes. If somebody told me, if you could live without bipolar disorder, what would you say? My answer would be no. I would be born with it because, number one, hey, I don't know what it's like to live without bipolar disorder. So who knows how I would do with that. And this is who I am. This is what I was born with. And it is such a root, like it is for many artists, actors, people out there, the root of where I create from. It's the root of my emotional empathy. And it doesn't define me, but it helps me. It gives me a perspective on the world and other people that I don't think, that I know I wouldn't have if I didn't live with this, because it's brought me down to the roots of human. You know, I sit in support groups with honest and raw people that have been through things that I never thought I would hear of. And that real connection and that human element and having the gift of creating from this place, I'm grateful for it. Of course, that doesn't mean, I'm not romanticizing it or saying that the emotions, trust me, I mean, I go through it, but I'm not going to be able to live with this condition if I continually look at it as something I hate. So I do believe that,
So, and in your own treatment, is talk therapy a part of your plan, your management?
So that is very interesting. Again, this is the perfect timing because about a couple weeks ago, I finally got back into therapy after 7 years. Regardless if you live with a mental illness, or you struggle with anxiety, depression, or you don't, everybody should have a therapist. It is huge. But I just got back involved with it after a decade, which I would not suggest to anybody to be in it. My problems came from trusting a therapist. Again, I had ran into problems with an inexperienced therapist. That was actually the reason that I was institutionalized, simply because she didn't have enough experience, and that scared me to ever go back. So it took me years. But I do therapy now because I just got to that point where I was breaking down. And it's just been an opening. It's been an opening where I can pour. It's the bucket. It's the opening for the river to finally break, through. Because it was like a dam, and I was just pouring out. And to have a safe space for that has been huge in my life. And to anybody, therapy is something if you can get on. And we have to make it more accessible, of course, but it's huge in my life now.
Yeah, I'm really lucky in that I have a son who's 41 years old. When he was a teenager, I had to take him to therapy, and the therapist would point out something that he would do, and if I was sitting in the room, and then he'd look at me and go, "Where do you think he learned that, Dad?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's me." And that started a lifetime. My kids graduated fine. I ended up in a lifetime of therapy that I can't imagine life without. And the key is as you said, finding the right person that you can completely trust.
Yeah, it's huge.
So is there anything else that in closing you would, for someone struggling with depression or anxiety, either any more advice or a word of encouragement that you would have for this person?
I want them to know that to be vulnerable is to be beautiful, and that what you're going through right now does not define you, and you have a community that loves and supports you, and life is a series of breaking and rebuilding, and you're going to rise from that bed. You're going to rise from wherever it is that you are, and you'll be able to take that pain and turn it into empathy and to create something much bigger from it. And although it's like a trending thing, you're not alone. You're not alone. And this is something you should not be ashamed of. So know that you're loved, know that you're loved, even from a distance, even by a stranger.